Aries, welcome to Scorpio Soul Time. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome to your May 2025 monthly tarot reading. This is where we're going to look at the astrological energies of the month of May. This is a big month as we now have Saturn finally moving out of Pisces, but now moving into your sign, Aries. So you all just had Neptune move into your sign a few months ago. Now we have Saturn joining that party. Venus will also be moving back into your sign after it was retrograde, and we will have Pluto retrograding in the sign of Aquarius. So Aries, this is a big time for you. I was telling Pisces similar type of vibe because planets moving in and out of you two sign is going to be very big for your life, meaning like you could be going through some big changes, possibly relationships, possibly at your job, possibly in your home life. Maybe you're moving. There's a lot going on during this 2025 Aries for you and Pisces. So I would say if you have any Pisces placements, I would watch their video as well. All right, Aries, let's get right into it and let's start off May. So you start off with the Knight of Swords, as well as the Fool card in reverse. Major Arcana card there. Possibly some false starts coming in. Justice card, Libra energy for you, Major Arcana. As well as the Two of Wands in the reverse. Third week of May finds you with the Queen of Swords. As well as the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. Then you round out the end of May with the Sun card, Leo energy there, Major Arcana also in reverse. And lastly, the Strength card, Major Arcana. My goodness, so you all have quite a few Major Arcanas going on. This would make a lot of sense because of all of those placements with like I said, the planets moving in and out, Saturn coming into your sign. Interesting that you have the Fool, the Justice, the Sun, and Strength card all. Well, the Strength card is the only one in the upright. So that is interesting that we're going to talk about because I do think that there is some validity to you all starting and stopping some things this month. So let's ask Spirit to send you a card representing the energy that you bring into the month of May. And you have the Six of Pentacles. So for some of you all, this month could be a month of finding new money resources. Possibly someone offers you a job, or you are a hiring manager or someone who is hiring others. There's this give and take here, but this is also charity. So some of you all could be giving to a charity, or you could be receiving if you're someone who is needing funds or money resources. This could be a great thing. Now, I will say that since this was back in April, this could have been energy that you were going through during that time, like when Neptune moved into your sign. But I will say as you come into May, what I do think is there's some type of rush decisions being made. So just watch it. If this is something that hasn't fruitioned yet, make sure you aren't jumping at something that could be too good to be true. Just make sure you're reading through the fine print, okay? Including like, you know, being offered a job that just quickly came about and they have to hire right now and you have to make a decision. Just make sure you are not being rushed. Oh, okay. Speaking of rushing, I almost forgot your oracle message card. Spirit, if you can send my Aries a card representing a oracle message for the month of May. Okay, and you have Shadow number 18. So this is that card of where is it that what you do in the daytime and you're showing to the world versus what you keep inside, what you do at night. These type of shadow cards are more like, what is the energy that you're needing to look to your shadow side? Make sure that you are not covering up things that still need to be worked on, and really working on the inner you, the part that you do not show the world. So keep that in mind throughout this month, that there could be some inner work that you need to be doing, especially around that Scorpio full moon, okay? Scorpio time is the best time to be working on shadow work. So keep that in mind around May 12th. 12th, okay? All right, so we come into the month with the Fool card in reverse, Knight of Swords. This is when Mars in Leo exits its retrograde shadow. Pluto moves retrograde in Aquarius on the 4th. And then we will have Mercury entering Taurus on the 10th. During these first few weeks of the month, you all are presented with some type of new idea or new job or new opportunity. And I do feel like that Knight of Swords is like, be careful not to rush into it, okay? With the Fool card in reverse, it does feel like this could be a false start. Be careful of investments. That's what I just heard. Be careful not to just rush into any kind of investments that are like almost too good to be true. And I do think some of that could be very murky as we come into Mercury entering Taurus, because remember, Uranus is also in Taurus. So there could be some out of the blue money conversations that Spirit is telling you, pay attention to what it is that is really the real deal. Like, don't just get into it because it sounds great, okay? And I do think that that shadow card that you received, Aries, is some of that. You know, if you have a gambling tendency, be careful not to be getting involved in any of that. By the time you get to the mid-month, Two of Wands in reverse, Justice card in reverse as Libra energy. You could have some challenges with people at this time, trying to strategize, trying to come up with conversations that make sense around that Scorpio full moon on May 12th. It does feel like there's some information that comes out that is not fair for everyone, meaning like at your job, possibly some colleagues are put on blast by a superior, or possibly you are feeling like you can't get along well with the people around you because of whatever reasons. And I do think that Scorpio full moon on the 12th, Venus exiting its retrograde shadow on the 16th, and then the Sun is conjunct Uranus in Taurus on the 17th. I was already talking about Uranus in Taurus up here. Be careful, Aries, that you are being really well grounded during this time. I do think that Scorpio full moon could affect you the whole month, just because you all are ruled by Mars, which also Scorpio is as well. So I do think that Two of Wands, Justice card in reverse, there feels like there's some unfairness going on here. This could be at work, this could be in your community. So just really pay attention to how you're feeling and making sure you're not taking it out on others, or you're able to deal with it on your own. And if you do need help, obviously finding help, but that shadow side is really pointing towards you working on your inner self. Now, by the time you get to the third week of May, this is the big week of the month, because we now have the Sun entering Gemini on May 20th, and then Saturn will enter your sign on May 24th. Now, Aries, I want you to know that this is now a brand new 30-year cycle for Saturn, so expect some big energy. Saturn is teaching lessons, so really pay attention to what it is that comes up. Between the 24th and August 31st is when Saturn will be in your sign, and then it will retrograde back into Pisces until 2026. So Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Swords in the upright. This is more of those money conversations going on. But now it feels like there's someone in charge that is calling the shots about some money opportunity. Maybe you are interviewing for jobs during this time. I do think whatever comes up around May 24th, you all are going to see some big moves going on. We also on that same day have Mercury conjunct Uranus and Taurus. So there's a lot of Taurian energy here. And then you all have this Knight of Pentacles in reverse, Queen of Swords in the upright. It feels like someone is making a decision that affects your money. This could be also your salary. If you were expecting some kind of raise, it just feels like something here could be not the way that you were intending it to. And I do think by time you move to the end of May, this is when we have now Mercury entering Gemini on the 25th, a Gemini new moon on the 26th, and the Sun is conjunct Mercury in Gemini on the 30th. So there's like a stellium of planets in Gemini at the end of May. And I do think the Sun card in reverse, that Strength card, this is energy of you feeling empowered. Even though this Sun card isn't in the upright, it feels like you will have been through some stuff during the month and you've been working on your shadow side. And by time you are ending the month, remember that Sun card is Leo energy, and this lion, strength, courage, being able to tackle things that maybe you couldn't even fathom just a month ago. And so I do think, Aries, that this is going to be this time where as Saturn moves into Aries, you're going to start realizing and feeling like this momentum shift. And so I do think this is going to be a big month for you all, Aries. I do think you need to pay attention to the people who come into your life over this next few months between now and August. That span of time is almost like a preview of what's to come later on in 2026. So really pay attention to that, because this Saturn entering Aries is going to be with us for the next 2 years. So I hope this was helpful for you, Aries. Take a look at your sun, moon, and rising signs in this video series, and I'll talk to you later.